Dubai, pulsating desert metropolis in the Middle East. The oldest Arab trading city today signifies both high-tech and the Bedouins. The Al Fahidi Fort is the oldest building in Dubai. It was built at the beginning of the 19th century and today houses the Dubai Museum. Narrow alleys lead through the Gold Souk, the traditional covered bazaar in which shops and stalls are packed closely together with merchandise worth millions. Everything glitters and shines in the tempting windows. And of course, haggling is permitted. Nutmeg, coriander, cinnamon, frankincense and myrrh are available in the Spice Bazaar. Fata Morgana, fairy tale or actual reality, the Jumeirah Mosque. And in stark contrast, the tallest and most spectacular hotel building in the world, the Burj Al Arab. Here, the traditional and popular leisure pastime is camel racing. Much prized camels run to win, and in so doing, boost the prestige of their proud owners. A herd of camels serenely observes the starting point of a sport, dune riding. This is carried out strictly in groups and with fully trained drivers. Tours in these all-terrain vehicles are the desert adventures of modern times. For driving on sand, it's important to release some of the air from the tires. The four-wheel drive vehicles are equipped with special air filters, the only means of transport possible to withstand a safari like this. A short briefing and the adventure can begin. The vehicles drive off in convoy. Great demands are placed on the drivers because it's important to keep to the correct speed. And off we go. At first, the track is smooth, though undulating. To get into the mood, the first terrain is tackled cautiously. As though on a roller coaster, the ascent begins, and down again, and fun is guaranteed. A roller coaster of demands in deep ruts and up steep terrain. Knowledge of the area is absolutely vital here. And in the intense heat, short rests are imperative. It's amazing how versatile the plant world is in these arid surroundings. After the break, the drivers let off steam. At high acceleration, the steep slopes are conquered. As if on a ramp, the vehicles hang onto the edge. The thrill is sensational. And because it's such fun, we do it again. After the wild and rugged up and down in the swaying vehicle, the ascent of a dune is a welcome relief, and as a reward there's a wonderful view over a fertile plain. As the dunes crisscross, the adrenaline races. With certain descents, passengers get the feeling that they're experiencing a real-life rehearsal for the famous Paris-Dakar rally. We reach a fertile plain that's almost like travelling on the open highway. In the seclusion of the desert, the dromedaries are the sole witnesses to this frenetic adventure. A family of camels with their comical young stare unimpressed at the racing sand drivers. Driving over a short stretch is relatively relaxing and an opportunity for the blood pressure to recover. Now the horizon moves constantly, the extent of the slope becomes quite alarming, and it's increasingly difficult to retain one's balance. Stomachs churn constantly, the incessant ups and downs are taxing for the entire body. Once again, it's time to check the tire pressure. The sand is tested and final preparations are made for an extreme ride on the highest dunes of this desert landscape. The drivers demonstrate their technical abilities and fountains of sand shoot high into the air. The vehicle sometimes gets stuck in the sand, but the problem is quickly dealt with. the endless desert in which grains of sand become an unforgettable and constantly changing landscape, the challenge is the same for both humans and vehicles. And soon we continue. Like tiny beetles, the safari battles its way up the steepest dunes. These mountains of sand are up to 200 meters tall and appear in a variety of shadowy forms. And a fossilized rock comes into view, a reminder of a time that predates history itself. Millions of years ago, these mountains were still underwater. Today, the coral reefs of an ancient ocean reveal many fossilized marine creatures. Because the average rainfall is only 5 cubic centimeters each year, the desalination of the sea is very important. Without artificial irrigation and drainage, life in this region would be almost impossible. Wide tracks tempt the drivers to increase their speed. A tyre is defective. As though a Formula One pit stop, the group quickly help. And in record time, the vehicle's ready to start again. A plantation of desert melons shows that fruit can also thrive in these dry conditions. We travel to the Wadi water drive in the mountains. Bumpy gravel tracks and craggy riverbeds need to be tackled. The skill of the driver is again put to the test. It's vital to keep in touch with the weather forecast because sudden downpours can very quickly transform the waters of the Wadi into fast-flowing, dangerous currents. A well-earned break gets even closer, and a picnic is in sight. Flowering fields and moist dates are reminders of the tales of the 1001 Nights. The palm gardens in the Oasis appear lush and lavish compared to the plain desert landscape. Rest for both people and vehicles. For the members of the safari, a lively stream provides light refreshment as the vehicle cools off in the shade. The next challenge, the Hachar Mountains. The jagged ridges of this mountainous landscape, which dominates the entire eastern part of the Emirates, are the most interesting in the world. Around the enclave of Hatta towers the Hachar mountain range. Even though the majority of the 4,000-kilometre square Emirates is covered with sand, it also contains a diverse and unusual flora and fauna. These bumpy tracks, there's always approaching traffic. It's hard to believe that in this isolated area there are so many other vehicles. On these parched roads, there's a constant whirling of dust which obscures the view. The drivers steer their vehicles on the gravel tracks as though they're driving on a motorway. The landscape changes quickly. Millions of years of stone strata are remnants of a bygone age. Continues higher up into the mountains. From a bird's eye view, bizarre stone formations appear. The passes become narrower. Steep zigzags and severe bends demand a high level of concentration. Deep ravines become undulating terrain. The mountains rise up 3,000 meters and offer limited access. Mountain nomads use these high-lying regions as grazing for their herds of sheep and goats. Points, it becomes especially exciting. This is pure adventure. The traffic increases, the adrenaline flows. This is not for the faint-hearted. Up and down, the journey continues relentlessly. It becomes hot as the sun sits high on the horizon. The air is pure. Small rivers are traversed continuously. In spite of the unbearable heat and extreme driving conditions, the drivers are completely focused. After all, they seldom have the opportunity to be involved in such adventure. The crevices and fissures in the rock have developed over millions of years due to erosion. In these isolated regions, one is filled with admiration for those who travel on foot. Now it's wet. Driving through small rivers is a special treat. The spray is a meter high. The traffic increases. Rush hour in the depths of the United Arab Emirates? After so much isolation, just a few cars can make it seem like city chaos. surrounding mountains appear as though they've been worked with a garden rake. In various grey and sandy tones, fine sweeping lines are visible. It's surprising how cleanly and tidily nature presents itself here. Time after time, its originality is always fascinating. The mountains which form the border of the Emirates and the Oman recede, and soon we're again back among the dunes. The travel itinerary contains yet another unmissable experience, and we've reached our destination. After seeing camels in the wild, a visit to a camel farm is a must. One of the best ways to get to know the desert is on camelback. It just requires a little adjustment to the rocking movement of the camel's wide back, not to mention the smell of this hardy creature. Once the decision has been made to ride, seasickness is strictly forbidden. And as a rewarding farewell, a Bedouin barbecue awaits. On thick, precious carpets, delicious spicy foods and hot tea are served. The life of the nomad is, for these few moments, a real-life experience. The noises of the night penetrate the Bedouin tent, and with a setting sun, the festivity is like a fairy tale. In the Arab world, falconry is extremely popular. To train a falcon to hunt is an art. As a souvenir, an authentic henna painting is a reminder of days of unforgettable adventure. This country of great contrast with its friendly people happily shows off its ancient arts and traditions, and also its enigmatic beauty. Adventure and tradition make the United Arab Emirates a holiday destination with a difference.